Good morning, my sweet students. I hope you all are well and healthy. Let's begin today's lesson and open up your books. We are again on chapter 5, Ancient Civilization, Mesopotamia, but today we will do lesson 4, that is the Babylonians. And you will find this chapter on page 111. Let's open. Okay, so Amorites, you see, the Amorites, it was a tribal group from Syria. What happened that about 2000 BC, a tribal group from Syria, and that name of that tribal group was Amorites. So they invaded Mesopotamia. And before, if you remember, in our last lesson, we learned that who was ruling over Mesopotamia before Amorites. If you remember, Akkadians were ruling, they were conquering Mesopotamia. But when Amorites invaded Mesopotamia, what they did, they destroyed Ur. And what was Ur? Ur was the capital of Akkad. And then they built a small village on a river, and this village was known as Babylon. Here you see Babylon. So they built a small village near a river name was Euphrates. It's the name of a river, and they built a small village, and that village was known as Babylon. What happened with passage of time, that Babylon grew into a beautiful city, and eventually through this expansion it became a kingdom, and that kingdom is known as Babylonia. Okay, so since Babylon did not have many natural resources, so what they used to do, the Babylonians, they used to exchange grain, oil, textile that was abundant in Babylon. Their lands provides a lot of grain, oil and textile. So what they used to do, they used to exchange it with other countries for timber, metal, stone. Then we have Hammurabi. Hammurabi, he was one of the greatest leader of Amorites, and he ruled from 1792 BC to 1750 BC on Mesopotamia. He ruled, and he was a very powerful warrior and an outstanding leader. What he did, he encouraged the work of art, united the people under one religion, and he improved the irrigation system, the tax system, and the government housing system. So he was an outstanding leader. Hammurabi, he was an outstanding leader. But his most notable achievement was his code of laws. So he introduced a code of laws, and that code of laws dealt with many aspects of life, such as family, marriage, divorce, ownerships of land, trade, business, everything. You will find everything in its laws. And some example of Hammurabi's code were like, if a man broke another man's arm, his arm should be broken. If a man poked out another man's eye, his eye should be poked out. If a house fell down and killed someone, the man who built the house should be killed. Isn't it strange? Very harsh rules. So, but the code of Hammurabi, they were considered to be one of the first written set of laws. Just like cuneiform, we read that it was one of the first language, and if in the same way, Hammurabi's code were one of the first written set of laws. Then we have few classes. People of Babylon, they were divided into 3 classes, like nobles, it's a name of a class, slaves, and free commoner. Okay, so who were nobles? Nobles were the highest and the most powerful class, and they had more privileges and rights. And slaves, who were slaves? They were they were owned by other people. And what they used to do with the slaves, they used to punish them very severely for their crimes. And against nobles were not treated like that. Nobles were given high rights and privileges, but slaves, they were severely punished for their crimes. And then we have free commoner. Okay, here free commoner, and free commoner were the largest class consisting of priests and traders. Okay, now the most important thing, your homework. What you have to do, you have to read the whole chapter again in detail. Try to read it and then open up your workbooks and try to finish page 77 to 79. Whatever filling the blanks and question answers you find on your workbook, attempt them. Once you will read the chapter, you will find all these exercises very easy. So start your task, and meantime give me a break. So take care. See you again.